We ask the audience exits immediately afterwards, so the judge may begin deliberation. You guys may begin when Riley says go.
Whenever you're ready.
Good afternoon and welcome. Before we get started, I'd like to introduce my colleagues, Katrina and Noah. And my name is Connor, and we are Crown Consulting. We are extremely excited to have this opportunity to meet with such an innovative firm that may have the potential to change the way the job hunting and recruiting industry operates. We have provided a brief agenda. Feel free to follow along throughout the presentation. Now, given the nature of this industry, we are well aware that you've probably spoken with other consulting firms. Who knows, maybe 20 minutes ago. But we are here as Crown Consulting to assure that we will take your firm to the next level in order to be successful and sustainable in the future. With that being said, where will Ripon Networks Incorporated be in the next 5 to 10 years? We've also identified a few secondary issues. Those secondary, they are of equal importance that we mitigate this through our implementation, and you will see later in the presentation. First one, the perceived switching cost of the recruiting industry. Many HR departments feel that there's a high switching cost to go from one firm to another, to go from Workopolis to Ripon, to go from Monster to Ripon. And we're going to explain to them that there isn't. This will be mitigated through our implementation. Another big secondary issue is the user base of students. As a firm, second year in the industry, you want to grow your user base. We're well aware of that, and we've mitigated this through our implementation as well. Financial position. Currently, you are looking for some investors, some money. We have found a way that will both benefit you and your investors in our process. Also, improve functionality of the website, which will also be mitigated through our implementation. Now, moving on to the external analysis. Some opportunities in this industry, as I've previously mentioned, are the HR departments. Get to those HR departments, explain that the switching costs are not high, and your firm will benefit them far more than the other competitors. The need for employment. As you're all aware, as all students are aware, you need experience to get a job, but you need a job for experience. So this is always an opportunity in this firm. Threats in this industry, as you mentioned, Mr. Tuck, in our previous meetings, is the business model can be copied fairly easily. However, through our implementation, we have mitigated this because we have shown why your firm has a competitive advantage over all your competitors. Another threat are the larger competitors because of their marketing budgets, because of their market capitalization with 1 billion, $500 million, and also their brand recognition. Internal analysis, strengths, you are a first mover in this industry. As I mentioned in my introduction, this has the potential to change this industry, and you are a first mover. You're learning algorithms, which is a competitive advantage that your competitors may not be able to duplicate. A few weaknesses, as I previously mentioned, your financials and your brand recognition. However, through our implementation, your firm has the complete ability to be the #1 used tool to get a job. Mr. Tuck, I can tell you're smiling a bit. I'm getting excited as well. Moving on to the decision criteria that we have identified in order to choose the optimal solution. First, grow and diversify user base, which I have previously mentioned. This is extremely important to be successful in this industry. Second, financially feasible. And by financially feasible, what I mean is getting the money you need to be able to continue to operate in this industry in order to be profitable in the next 5 to 10 years. And finally, align with mission. As you mentioned, your value statement, your mission statement is to be for students, not for professionals, not just getting resumes. It's to be for students and help them get jobs.
After careful analysis of your organization,
as well as through the ongoing communication that we've had with your company. We've identified 3 alternatives that we feel are all viable solutions for your company to consider implementing moving forward. Now first, I'm going to discuss with you what these alternatives entail. And then secondly, I'm going to compare these alternatives to the decision criteria that Connor has just previously outlined to you. And finally, and the most exciting part, is we're going to provide you with a strategic recommendation that us at Crown Consulting has worked diligently on developing and customizing for your company. Now, looking to the first alternative of selling to freelancer, what we're proposing is that you sell 20% of your equity to this company. This would provide you with sufficient financing to overcome your next 1 to 2 years and to help you be sustainable. By partnering with or selling to freelancer, you'll be able to obtain their know-how, their expertise, their mentorship that they have successfully built their company on. And this could help assist you with your operations. As well, this could help your company gain more clients, more customers. They're currently selling to companies that need or are seeking professionals. But these companies may also be seeking students or undergraduate students entering the workforce. So it would be a great opportunity in which to obtain more customers. Looking to the second alternative of partnering with Randstad. Now Randstad has approached you, and they're one of the second largest recruiting companies. So this is a great opportunity as well. They have great interest in your company and what you have been doing and the product you've developed. This would provide Ripon with more potential users, as these employers could then develop. These employers looking for students now have a new way to recruit by developing cases to test students out. It would be an additional revenue stream for your company, as you could enter contracts with the recruiting firm. And this will help you seek out, and there's also the potential now, once you have solidified a contract with this firm, to seek out additional HR recruiting firms that may potentially want to partner with you as well. Now, looking to the third alternative of expansion. Now, Mr. Tuck, I apologize, Mr. Tuck. Your company has grown significantly and has done well with just being operating for 2 years. Why not continue to grow this? Continue to build what you've already developed by increasing your brand recognition through different promotions, through promoting and marketing, going and talking to students and improving your efforts nationally rather than just in 3 major cities. Continue to seek funding through the angels investors. And then reinvest in your organization. Continue to improve your system. Continue to build this. And obtain subscriptions from clients so that you have continual support and continual revenue streams from different employers and different customers. Now, I'm going to talk you through a decision matrix. And what this does is it compares the decision criteria that Connor's outlined to you, which is along the side, to the alternatives that I've just spoken to you on along the top. So looking at the alternative of selling to a freelancer. Now, this would help you grow and diversify your user base as freelancers. There's a potential for freelancers, customers to now use your services. This would be financially feasible as you're now able to obtain sufficient funding for the next 2 years of your operations. And what we see though with this is it doesn't quite align with your mission. Your mission is helping students find jobs and jobs in the workforce. By partnering with freelancer, there's a potential that freelancer, as it markets to professionals, will not really assist you hitting the right market. Looking at a second alternative of partnering with Randstad. Now this would help you grow and diversify your user base, as Randstad as a recruiting firm do have customers looking and seeking for students. And this would align with your mission. as you would be operating as you currently do. This would just be a contractual agreement with them. But what we see is that this is not quite financially feasible. And what we mean by this is Randstad is probably looking to get into a long-term contract with your company. And your company right now is growing substantially, but is very small, and we don't know where how successful, it's in the growing phase. We don't know how successful it's going to be within the next 1 or 2 years. What could potentially happen is that you'd enter a contract with them at a certain fee, but the value you provide them over the next year is much greater than the amount of money that you're receiving from them. So we don't see that this is a great option for your company. Looking at the third one, of expanding. Now this would grow and diversify your user base based upon the implementation plan that Crown Consulting has put in place and which Noah will speak to you on. This would be financially feasible as you would gain more brand recognition through employers, through students, more users, so more employers will be willing and wanting to utilize and purchase your services. And this does align with your mission, as you're continually doing what you're good at and what you've been successful at. You'll be using your project-based system to help students find jobs as they're in their degree program and once they're finished it. That being said, our strategic recommendation for you today is to not sell, to not partner, but to continue and expanding and growing your current company into the future. Now, I'd like to walk you through a brief financial forecast over the next 6 years. The great things that what we assumed is that you're going to receive or achieve that $200,000 investment through your next angel investing pitch. And what we see is that by year 4, that you will now gain a profit. You did say to us, Mr. Tuck, that within you don't expect to make money in the first 4 years. But what we see is in the 4th year, you'll make a net profit of incremental net profit of $36,000. And then in year 5 and year 6, you'll continue to grow substantially.
I'd like to walk you through the implementation of our recommendation. We've been able to identify our 3 key pillars that the implementation will be surrounded by. First being marketing, second finance, and third, of course, IT. So to begin, we'll get down to immediate, short-term, and long-term approach. The immediate is going to last about 1 year. Now, we're going to start by a very new idea for marketing that's going to be just as new as your organization and as the approach that you've taken. We're going to start by contacting the universities who you're already working with, but this is a great opportunity. We see 3 key areas where you can grow your organization, Mr. Tuck. The first being talking to professors. Now this is a revolutionary idea because it's going to change the way that people find jobs. And students, they study their textbooks day in and day out, but they don't get to apply in a real world setting. You've now allowed university professors to use your website and create a project that they can actually use their skills in. University professor has already done this, and we believe that you can also tie that into a marketing strategy, as well as targeting the career centers and career facilities at universities. They're here, their sole purpose is to help students find jobs. You have identified this trend, and you know that this is going to grow in the future, and so career development centers are going to want to buy in early so that they can offer this opportunity to students, as well as student groups. Their sole purpose is to help their fellow students, as well as they have direct access to all the student bodies. You can target student groups in engineering, in business, in IT, and those are the sectors where you really want to hit because all those students are looking for jobs. And now we've also come up with what we think is a brilliant idea by using your mission, students helping students, and finding students to do your own marketing. Why not, when you go and talk to the student organizations, put up a posting for an advertisement that maybe a marketing major can do for your organization. Offer a YouTube video. This way they get to build their portfolio. you're drawing traffic to your website, as well as you can post that on YouTube, which students are going to look at to, again, bring back new clients. Now, after you've done all of this, you're going to talk to the local newspapers and media and bring these success stories to them. This is all free advertising and free marketing that a new startup can take advantage of. It's going to cost you no money. And that way you can talk, you can go to the local television station, you can promote your website and how you've done your new marketing pitch, use students in this new way, and you're going to be able to really sell and bring brand recognition to your organization. We're also going to help get financing through Dragon's Den. Now, what we've been able to identify is that obviously this is a niche market and you're the first mover. So let's raise brand awareness. And Crown Consulting is going to help you get a position on Dragon's Den. Now, this is, again, this is a benefit in two ways. Marketing. It's a nationwide television show that everyone across the country watches. That's one way to build brand recognition. The second one is you could get that financing that you're looking for. So the Dragons are better than those other two alternatives that we previously mentioned because their network is beyond just matching up recruiting firms and students and employers. They have abilities in all sectors. And so partnering with them we think is very beneficial for your organization. As well as talking to business development centers, getting them to invest and buy in. Obviously, this is the way the future of recruitment is going to work. They're going to want to be on the cutting edge to offer it to their students. So you can offer contract basis buy-ins that the set universities can offer, as well as, of course, angel investors with a very well-constructed pitch that Crown Consulting will help you design. And in IT, incorporating a feedback section. So for those success stories, where appropriate matches that have been made using your website can post about how it's worked out for them and the relevant work experience they got through using your website that other students are going to be able to look at and read through. Well, the two weaknesses that we were able to mitigate through this first stage of the implementation is, again, your brand recognition, Dragon's Den, the media across the country, as well as financing. Again, Dragon's Den, angel investors, and financing through universities. In the short term, this is 1 to 3 year period. You're going to continue marketing by offering workshops and training. We believe that this is going to be the next phase for your organization. This is a very new concept, and you're going to be able to help go to businesses who are using yours, recruitment, and be able to track and identify which kind of postings are getting the most access. What are students actually willing to do? What kind of projects are they investing in? And which projects not only are identifying the strengths that the student has, that they really do have, but also the strengths that they're going to use in their actual careers. You're the best person, obviously, Mr. Tuck, to run these kind of workshops, to go into an HR consulting firm and look at the kind of postings they've been doing and how to tweak them so that they really do find the best sort of students and the best kind of clients so that their match and the rate and percentage of match increases. And we believe that this is an exciting new opportunity to pursue in the future. As well as continue to target the universities, continue to work with students and those kind of organizations promoting your website across the country. Financing, reinvest financing into the organization, any financing that you've done to build it, and offer subscriptions to the larger clients. Larger clients are going to be posting more often and more frequently. This is going to help you with your cash flow problem, as they can pay monthly fees for their 1 or 2 year subscriptions. As well as increase the price. Right now you're trying to be a low-cost provider, and we believe after about 2 to 3 years, your brand recognition will increase, and you'll be able to increase your prices. And again, implement a tracking system. Beauty of the benefit of a tracking system is that you can look at, again, what kind of industries are posting what kind of jobs, and that way when you do your consulting, you can tell them what's been working for them and what hasn't. And again, this is going to mitigate the perceived switch cost by the HR firms by working with them in workshops as well as student use space. In the long term, it's important to reevaluate the market, see where your organization is, see what the kind of environment that you're working in. Develop an app as a possible way to, again, increase traction by students. Look into Europe as an expansion process. A lot of students go on exchange, and word of mouth will travel extremely quickly, we believe, with your organization, and look into a possible IPO. We were able to identify 2 risks that I'll also talk about after our presentation. So just in conclusion, Mr. Tuck, you are in a very exciting place. Your organization is only 2 years old, and your options are limitless. And we believe that through this recommendation, through targeting students, through increasing your brand recognition, for getting on Dragon's Den and being markedly wide known, as well as getting the financing that you need to take that next step, to invest in consulting, to help those businesses not only just use your website, but use it extremely efficiently and successfully, is a great opportunity for your organization. And now we'd like to open forward to any questions that you may have.
So this consulting innovation in the short term of 1 to 3 years, is that the best use of my time running a tech company? How scalable is that?
What we've been able to identify is that this is the next step for your organization. And now, after these 3 years, we're looking at about closer to the 3-year period. Our organization is being able to grow and it's going to have that brand recognition that you're searching for, as well as the basis financing. And we believe that this is going to be, again, the next step. So it's important for you to invest in it. And of course, you know your website better than anyone else. You are running the organization, so we think it's important for you to start it, but of course you can train an additional employee to help you do the workshops, and then they can take over as that sector grows. Let's go ahead.
Your financials, I must have missed something. You show revenues increasing over time. You show expenses increasing over time, 124, 144 for 2 years, 154, and then dropping to 104 as revenues continue. I missed understanding why that happened.
We saw that initially there would be a lot of expenses as far as going to the various universities and going to the different job centers and promoting your tool. But once you've passed that amount of that year period, then we don't see you having to physically go out anymore. So we don't see as many expenses with traveling and with facilitating those type of workshops and such, because your brand recognition has grown, so you are not required to do that.
Continuing on with finances, with your new consulting area and growing the business, so now I have to have consultants. Is $200,000 investment enough?
In the short term, you're looking for a $200,000 investment just to get to that next step, and then we're going to reevaluate the sort of financial cost that this is going to incur. But we still believe that through brand recognition, through increased traffic to your website, your sales are going to go up. As we talked about, you're going to also increase costs, and now you're looking to have those subscriptions, which is going to help you in your cash flow issues. So we believe that that $200,000 mark is something that we're going to reevaluate, as it was a number for now. In 3 years, we believe that number will have changed.
I'm curious as to why developing an app is a long-term strategy and not an immediate strategy. Virtually every person I know that's in late university graduating uses their phone quite frequently. Apps are a way that a lot of people can track these days with various websites. So why long-term as opposed to now? Wouldn't that be an easy way?
That's something that you could do now, but your organization is only 2 years old, and you don't want to stretch any area too thin. So it's important to really build your basis, which is your website, and as well as the structure of your website is to find jobs. It's hard to actually do too much on a phone, on an app. It's hard to fill out the applications. It's hard to read the requirements of the job posting and then go to work. Plus, a lot of these jobs will be needed to be done on computers. A lot of the postings are going to need that sort of access. So the app is a long-term approach, so when you've built that brand recognition, people can get updates more about when a new posting has been sent on your website, and sort of that kind of aspect to the app. We don't believe that students are actually going to be trying to complete the tasks that the businesses have uploaded on their phones.
If I could add to that as well, if you don't mind. The main focus for the short term also should be creating, developing the relationship with the companies and creating the projects first, because with our implementation, we know that there's going to be a ton of students wanting to go through your program, and the first thing you need projects. So the first thing you need to do is create those projects with the organizations, and then you can get the app so the students can get it more accessibly.
But those are two different sides of business, right? Like there's the tech side and then there's the business side.
Right, sorry, that's why we said the business side should be first to create those relationships, and then we can develop the app as well after.
Your external analysis for opportunities, you mentioned contact HR departments and go from there. The question is, do all companies have HR departments? And B, can all companies benefit from the use of this particular capability that the Redfin is offering?
So, of course, some companies may outsource HR, they may use a firm for the recruitment processes, so we've been able to identify that, and that's why we're also talking to the recruitment firms. Now, as to a benefit for all organizations, we
Please
believe-
stop.